Do you have a small business that uses QuickBooks Desktop? Are you aware of their upcoming massive price increases? Don't let the price increase catch you off guard. Learn how to save money now before it's too late. In this video, we'll cover a quick history of QuickBooks Desktop price increases, changes in the QuickBooks Desktop product roadmap, upcoming QuickBooks Desktop price hikes, comparing QuickBooks Online to QuickBooks Desktop. Go over alternative QuickBooks products that will give you enhanced features and may actually save you money. Make sure to watch until the end to learn how you can lock in exclusive savings on QuickBooks Desktop. One of the things we do like to do is prepare you for changes that are coming up. If you are a small business, and even some residential people do use QuickBooks, there are some big changes coming in QuickBooks. I'm going to review some of the changes that they have made in recent years, and then I'm going to actually go over some of the changes that are coming in just a few weeks so that you can actually take advantage, because there is a limited amount of time that you can actually make some changes to lock in some lifetime savings. So first of all, Intuit is the manufacturer of QuickBooks, and years ago we were on QuickBooks Enterprise, and when we bought QuickBooks Enterprise we were able to use it. And we got with it 1 year's worth of, it was expensive, but we got 1 year's worth of support. And as a part of that support, we were able to get the next version of QuickBooks for free. And then that version would hold us through for another 3 years. So really, we were able to purchase QuickBooks Enterprise every 4 years. Then, and we did that for several cycles. Then they came out with an annual subscription for QuickBooks Enterprise, and we actually switched back to QuickBooks Premier. And with QuickBooks Premier, we actually had that we would get QuickBooks Premier. We would not get the next version for free, but we were able to use it for 3 years. Then what they did is they started coming out, and this was maybe around 2020, 2021, somewhere in that range. They started coming out with not just Pro and Premier, they came out with Pro Plus and Premier Plus. And they would offer these at about half the price of the Pro or the Premier. And this was an annual subscription. You would subscribe to it, and you would always get the latest version. And so some people went with that because they always wanted the latest version. By the way, it came with support as well, and people wanted to always get the latest version. What they've done, though, what they did in 2022 with the 2022 edition is they totally did away with the buying the software and owning it. Starting in 2022, every software whether you bought Pro, Premier, Enterprise, it was an annual subscription. And what they did that year, it was still about half the price, maybe a little bit more. Then in 2023, they actually raised the price to what they used to sell. And by the way, that was for one user, maybe around $400 a year. They raised it to what they used to sell the product when you would actually own it. And by the way, with that 3 years of use, you can still use the product after 3 years, but certain features like emailing invoices or receiving payments using their payment system or using Payroll, you wouldn't be able to continue that, and you wouldn't get any support, no updates after that 3 year period was up. Of course, you could always buy the next version, but again, with this annual subscription, they in 2023 they actually raised the price to what they were selling before. Now, again, that was for one user, for Pro about $400. Well, the current price of Pro, they've continued to raise the prices. The current price of Pro for one user is $649. The current price of Premier for one user is $949. And again, that's an annual subscription. You don't own the software. If you don't renew it, you don't have it after that. So this does really lock you into that annual subscription. They also are having some major pricing changes starting October 1st. Now, these changes will not necessarily affect you until your QuickBooks renews. So if your QuickBooks renews prior to October 1st, then these prices won't actually roll in until your product renews. But when it does, Pro and Premier, for one user, the price of Pro will be $999 a year. Also, the price of Premier will be $1,399 a year. So you can see $999 a year when they just in 2022, which I mean we're looking at like what is that, 3 years? Even 2 years, they have a 150% price increase. So the price is actually now 250% more than what it was. So that's the one news that's out there. But also the other news is that the cost of payroll is also going up. Now, some people have had legacy plans where they pay an annual fee and they don't pay an amount per employee. Those plans are going away. If your payroll renews prior to October 1st, you're okay, you're locked in, you're good. But if after that, the next time it renews, it's going to renew at a much higher price. Now, the current price for basic payroll is $400 a year, plus $6 a month per employee. So the new price of payroll is going to be $550 a year, plus $7 a month per employee. Now, by the way, if you do direct deposit, it costs even more than that. One of the things that is interesting, though, is that you can actually upgrade to Pro or to Enterprise Gold. Enterprise Gold includes payroll, and Enterprise Gold it includes payroll, by the way, for up to 3 companies with up to 800 employees with no monthly cost for those employees. And they also have a deal where if you renew or if you purchase prior to October 1st, there's actually a 20% lifetime discount. Now, this may not be available if you call Intuit directly. I don't know if it's available if you call Intuit directly. We are able to provide this, though. We're able to provide this through our distributor that we use. And this, again, is before October 1st. So we're looking at, not too long, maybe 5 or 6 weeks here that you actually have to be able to upgrade and actually get this lower price. Now, we recently upgraded from Premier to QuickBooks Enterprise. And even though the QuickBooks Enterprise cost us more money, we are going to save money, and we're going to save money. We have that 20% discount locked in for life. And really, when you're looking at, it depends on how many users you need. And when we talk about users, we're talking about simultaneous users. How many people are going to be using the product at one time? So, if you have one person using the product at one time, you don't have to even have many employees. You can actually jump up to Enterprise with, I believe, even just one employee, and you can actually save money compared to QuickBooks Premier. And by the way, there's very likely that QuickBooks Premier and QuickBooks Pro are going to continue to be more expensive, continue to go up in price, and really, even right now, as of October 1st, when this new pricing comes in, for most people, Pro and Premier will actually be more expensive if you do payroll as well, than enterprise will be. So this is something that you'll want to take note of, and you'll want to take action on so that you can actually reduce your cost. Now, if you have more employees, it makes even more sense. You're going to save even more money to be able to switch over to QuickBooks Enterprise. And so, just with one employee, the cost of going to Enterprise versus the cost of actually buying Pro, paying for the payroll cost plus the Pro cost, you actually would be saving money going to QuickBooks Enterprise. You would be saving $133 a year. If you have more employees, then you'll save even more money. If you have more users, of course, that increases the cost of the product, but still you'll be able to save by locking in these savings. And of course, another option would be to go out and go to and utilize QuickBooks Online. And really, that's one of the things that they want you to do. By the way, QuickBooks for the last 2 years has not had Pro and Premier on their roadmap for development, which means that they really don't want you using it. They want you to either sign up for QuickBooks Online, they would really like you to do that, or they want to get you to sign up for QuickBooks Enterprise. And you can see they're actually making Pro and Premier more expensive than QuickBooks Enterprise is. And so it's going to make financial sense to do one or the other. Now, you can use QuickBooks Online as well. QuickBooks Online does have, again, a separate payroll subscription, and that does cost additional money. And that's something that you'll have to actually look at, you'll have to consider, and you'll have to evaluate whether that is worth it or not. One of the things, there are some things that QuickBooks Online cannot do that QuickBooks Desktop can do. And that's one of the reasons that we have stayed with QuickBooks Desktop and switched to QuickBooks Enterprise. Another thing is the security of the data. We know that in our own environment, we run QuickBooks in our own environment, we can actually secure the data. We can actually make sure that we are protecting that data, and we can run, have our cybersecurity policies in place and our cybersecurity programs in place, like we've talked about, our Zero Trust application control, our Zero Trust network control, our managed SOC, our Security Operations Center, where we actually have live people that are actually watching over our network, making sure that things are good, running third-party analysis to make sure and correct any vulnerabilities that we do have, making sure that all of our Windows updates and patches are installed. We can control all of that. We can also control our data security. What happens if Intuit is breached? What happens, and by the way, that does happen. What happens when a hacker breaks into their site and gets a hold of their data? Then our data could potentially be compromised. So we have, for that reason, continued with QuickBooks Desktop. Another factor with QuickBooks Online versus QuickBooks Desktop is that QuickBooks Online, you need one subscription for every company. And many companies have 2 or 3 or 4 companies. And so you might have one company that operates the main business. You might have a wholesale company. You might have a company that owns land that the other business rents from. You might have a leasing company. So there's different issues, and you would have to have an actual separate license, separate subscription for every one of those. So if you need help with this, give us a call, 772-878-5978. Also, September 30th is the last day that you can subscribe to a QuickBooks Pro or Premier subscription ever. If you haven't done so yet, and you don't do so by September 30th, your only options will be QuickBooks Enterprise, which actually may save you more money anyway, or QuickBooks Online. If you use QuickBooks Desktop, let us know what you think about Intuit's price hikes in the comment section below. I hope you've liked this video, that you've learned something from it. If you have, please click the like button, click subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when we release new videos. And remember, when you have QuickBooks problems, you need a faster PC.